Alright guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So we'll be attending to these 4 questions under direction for hexagonal unit cell. Right, so for A, let's start by lighting our parallel pipes. So I'm gonna do this. Just gonna do this. Don't get lost, please. So doing this, right, we are able to tell that this arrow coming from this origin, right, is leaning on this wall and it is half in height. Just so we make everything good and clear, let's erase and use our normal external parallel pipe. So this is our incoming. Let me switch to white. Cool. So this is our origin, right? Then the arrow goes to this place, yeah, and this is our A2, positive A2, and this is our positive A1. Remember I said A3 is useless, so we need 3 things. We need our U prime, we need our V prime, and we need our W prime, which is the same thing as A1, A2, and C, right? So let's start. Remember I said when you're moving, you move serially from origin to A1 to A2, then to our Z. So this is my Z, or C or W, whatever you call it. So let's move now. I need to change my ink, sorry. So we can trace, we go this direction. Remember I said origin to A1, right, which is 1. Then we are going towards A2. Is positive, right? It's not negative. We're not going backwards. This direction is negative, but since we're not going that direction, we went forward towards A1. That's why it's positive. So for our A2, you need to pay attention that we didn't go on full length. It is on half length, right? As you can see in that image, it is at the center here. It is not on the full length, it is at the center. So we're going to denote that as half, right? Then for our, what's the last one, Z, which is upwards. Now we are not also going on full length, we are going half length. If we had gone up to this final floor, we would have called it 1, but because we are going half length, so we denote it as half as well, right? So the next thing we need to do is to apply these formulas and get our other stuffs. That's our UTV. So I'm going to go ahead now to solve. So for our U is equal to 1/3, right? Okay, I think I should use white ink. Excuse me. Yeah, erase this. 1/3, open bracket, 2, open bracket, 1. Our U prime is 1 minus V prime, which is 1/2. So we close the brackets and punching that into calculator, we have 1/3, open bracket, 2, open bracket, 1 minus half. So we close the bracket and we have our answer to be equal to half. Cool. So we find our U. Then next is our V, which is the same thing as 1/3, open bracket, 2, but this time around our V prime first, which is 1/2, minus, close the bracket, sorry, minus our U prime, which is 1. Then we close our bracket and find our answer. So we go ahead to solve. We have 1 and 1.5, which is equal to 0. Cool. Then for our T, which is negative, open bracket, our U that we just found, 1/2, sorry, 1/2 plus 0, which is equal to a negative half. Then our W is always equal to W. So one thing I need us to denote or to pay attention to is the fact that we cannot leave our answers in fraction. We have to go ahead and simplify it into normal figure. So we'll go ahead by saying yeah, we are multiplying all through by 2, so we can cancel the 2's in our equation. So we get to say 1/2 We have 1 over 2, we have 0, we have 1 over negative 1 over 2, don't forget the sign please, and we have our W is also half 1 over 2, a positive 1 over 2. So we'll close our bracket, multiply all through by 2. So these two cancels. So our final answer is 1, 0, minus, sorry, we can't use minus anymore. It's going to be bar 1, and 1. So this is for our A. A is equal to this, right? So let's go ahead and solve for another one. Let's solve for B. Sorry. Okay. So solving for our B, where is it? I need to change my ink to green again. So B, here, our arrow lies down here on the floor. So let's trace out our parallel pipes. So it goes this way, it goes this way, it goes this way, it goes this way, it goes this way. Yeah. So let's trace it on our external parallel pipe. Let's trace it outside. Sorry, excuse me. So tracing it outside, I think we should use red again. So this is our origin, right? Then we go I think it went half this direction. Cool, makes sense. So this is our A1 and this is our A2, right? So first things first, our U prime, V prime, and W prime. Cool. Then I think I should write this well so there can be space. Let me switch back to my white ink, or let's stay on red, I guess. No, let me switch back to my white ink. So reading directory, remember I said origin to A1, A2, then our Z, right? So let's start reading. So for this, when we move forward, remember we are not going total, we are going half the length, which is here, right? So we have half. So we have 1, it is a full length. I meant go on A2, which is 1. Then for our Z, we don't need any reason to go upwards. So we have 0 to be our answer. Then the next thing again is to apply our formula into the equation. So we have U is equal to 1 over 3. 1 over 3, sorry, I gotta write that well. 1 over 3, open bracket 2, open bracket, our U is 1 over 2, close bracket, minus 1. So our answer is equal to, sorry, I gotta move this guy out of the way. So punching that into the calculator, I have 0. Then you should always make sure you type well though, because most of the time I read my direction well, but when I'm typing into the calculator I get to make mistakes. So open bracket 1, this is V minus U prime, so our U prime was half, and that should give us, I think from this other side it should give us half. Cool. Then our T is equal to negative of our U that we just solved plus our V that we just solved, which is going to give us a negative half. Sorry, I gotta write that well. A negative half. Cool. Then our W is equal to W. So by the time we write that out, okay, we have to cancel out by 2. So we have our U to be 0, 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2, and we have our W to be 0 itself. Once again, so we multiply through by 2, 2 cancels 2, cancels 2, and multiply by the other ones. So our final direction is 0, 1, bar 1, and 0. So this is our B is equal to this. So for our C, let's look at the diagram. I have to zoom into the diagram so we can trace out. Change my ink. Sorry, I've got to change my ink to green. Yeah, so here we have it to be this way, our parallel pipe to be this way. Keep moving it. Nope. Trace this direction, trace this direction, trace this direction. Right? So for this is our origin. No, use a different color. Revert my step. Then let's use white. So this is my origin, right? And this remains our A1. This remains our A2. Sorry. This remains our A2 and this remains our Z. Not 2. Sorry. But Z. Okay. So A2Z, origin behind, and what else do we need? I think that's all for now. Let me just trace this out well. Then our line goes upwards from the origin to half this direction. I'm just gonna denote that as half. Please bear with me. I really suck at drawing. So the next thing we are supposed to do now, I'm coming. So I think we copied our question well, right? Then the next thing we ought to do is travel. So remember I said whenever you're traveling, you're going from A1 to A2 to our Z, and you can also refer to them as U prime, V prime, W prime, or W is also C. So what do? We are going from origin to A1. So let me change my ink to red. From our origin on line A1, it's not positive, it's going backwards. If it was this direction, we would have called it positive, but because we are traveling on the opposite direction, it's going to be negative. So we'll go this direction, right? So we have a -1, it is full. Then we come forward on A2. Again, we are traveling against the positive direction, so we are having another -1. Then we go upwards half the distance or half the total height, so that's why we are having half, right? This is actually positive. So let's change our ink, clean this up, then let's move forward by solving for our u, v, and tw. So solving for our u, we have u is equal to 1/3 open bracket 2 open bracket u prime, which is -1. This is where a lot of us get to make mistake because we miss the sign conventions. So I'm going to carefully type that in my calculator so I don't get to make any mistake. -1 open bracket and again -1, so I get to it's equal to it's equal to a -1/3, right? So our v is equal to 1/3 open bracket 2, and our v here, v prime here is open bracket -1 again, minus our -1. It's the same thing, nothing changes, so it's also -1/3. So for our t, which is equal to negative open brackets, the v and u we just found, not the u prime and v prime, but the u and v itself, which is our -1/3 plus -1/3. Let's confirm that. Yeah, a plus in between them. So by doing that in the calculator, we get to push in and say minus open bracket -1/3 plus open bracket -1/3. We close the brackets, and we have 2/3. Then our w remains itself, which is 1/2, or w prime remains w. So we go ahead and so we have -1/3 -1/3. So 2/3, then 1/2, all through by 6, multiplying all through by 6. 2 in here, 3, so 3 times that we have 3. 3 in here, 1 in here, 2 times 2 we have 4. 3 in here, 1 in here, 2 times that we have -2, another -2. So this is for our c is equal to this. Oh, my bad. Remember I said here you don't write minus, it is bar. Alright guys, welcome back. So this is for D, which is this guy that we are going to be considering next. So for D, I'm going to go ahead now to draw out our parallel pipe, which goes this way. So I don't want to paint on the arrow that directs us, so I'm just going to reprint or draw out that same arrow. So this is our origin, then the arrow goes this direction, right? And I have our A1, our Z, and our A2, which goes this direction. So remember, I told you when you're reading, you have to read serially, go from origin to A1 to A2, then to our Z. So our A1 is also known as U prime, our A2 is also known as V prime, and our Z is also known as W prime or C. So let's read. Change to red. So if we are going from the origin and going towards A, like I said, by the time we do that, just watch this. We've deviated from the arrowhead, but let's see, can it still lead us if we follow to A2 then go to Z? No. So that's not a good move at all. So we're just going to go ahead and ignore our A to be 0, since we followed origin to A1 and it led us the wrong path. So now we're going to go from origin to A2. So going from origin to A2, wow, that's nice. We got to the arrowhead, but we are going on the negative route of it. Remember, this is positive and this is the negative direction for A2, right? So our answer is going to be -1, and our Z, we don't have any reason to go up, so it's going to be 0. Let me switch back to white ink. So now we're going to be looking for our U, which is equal to 1/3 open bracket 2 open bracket our U prime, which is 0, minus V prime, which is -1, close the bracket, and our answer should be, punching that into the calculator, should be 1/3, or is 1/3. Then our V is equal to 1/3 open bracket 2 open bracket our V prime, which is -1 minus 0, which is equal to a -2/3. Okay, let me do this. So we have enough space. So equal to 1/3. T, which is equal to negative of our U that we just solved, 1/3, plus our -2/3, which is our V that we just solved, 2/3, which is going to give us a positive number, positive 1/3. Then our W is equal to our W prime is equal to, our W is equal to W prime, which is equal to 0. So let's go ahead and divide through by 3. So we go ahead and say 1/3 open the large bracket minus 2/3, then 1/3 and 0, close the bracket, multiply all through by 3. 3 cancels and multiply. So we have our D to be equal to 1/2, 1 and 0. So guys, drop a like on this video, drop a comment, like and share. Thank you and peace out. We have this one, we have this 2, and we have this blue one, number 3. Those are the 3 directions that we are supposed to read in this diagram. But first of all, I need us to understand that whenever we are looking for directions, there are 3 things we are looking for, which is our U prime, V prime, and W prime. Then through this, we get to apply this formula to find our T. to have our 4 coordinates, right? So solving forward, another thing we need to know is we'll always look for our A1, our A2, and our Z. Alright guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So we're going to be reading direction on these 4 different hexagon system. So first of all, we have this to be our number 1, our number 2, our number 3, and number 4. So there is something very familiar in the case of number 1 and number 4. Look at this. If I replicate this arrow in number 1 at the back here, can you see? If I do the same thing here in number 4, I replicate it here. Can you see? They are actually the same thing, but I'm gonna just reverse that and we'll solve it the normal way we are supposed to solve. So remember guys, all that matters when you are taking direction is your A1, your A2, and your C. Then you need the idea of 3 Miller indices for 3 for cubes. The Miller indices for cubes, you need the idea to survive in this realm of hexagonal system, right? So let's start with number 1.